the WWE Universal Championship.
What? What the fuck?
The Universal Championship was created back in 2016, and since that point there have been 14 different reigns with the title. WWE is only at the start of this title's legacy, but the company has certainly worked hard to ensure that the holders are all able to add some real quality to it. But while the wrestlers who have held the title have all been impressive, not all of their reigns have been. So, out of the 14 reigns so far, which has been the strongest? Before we get started, make sure to elbow drop that like button, spear that subscribe button, get over here, with notifications on. Number 14, Finn Balor. Finn Balor was actually the inaugural Universal Champion, but unfortunately, he was also the worst. The idea behind putting the title on Finn was absolutely right, as he was the brand new wrestler on the main roster and WWE wanted to strap a rocket to him. It was a great idea as WWE wanted to make him the top star in the company, but sadly, he picked up a serious injury during the SummerSlam match. He may have defeated Seth Rollins to win the title, but the injury meant he vacated it the next day. And so, with this not even lasting 24 hours, it is comfortably the worst Universal Championship reign to date. Number 13, The Fiend, second reign. The Fiend has held the Universal Championship twice, and sadly, neither of his reigns have been memorable. However, his second was comfortably the worst and one of the weakest main event title runs in modern history. He was able to defeat Braun Strowman for the title at SummerSlam, but the run didn't last long, as he dropped the title at the very next pay-per-view event, failing to have a single successful title defense in that time, making this very forgettable. Number 12, Goldberg, second reign. The man who ended the original reign of The Fiend was someone that nobody actually wanted to see with the Universal Championship. Fans were shocked when Goldberg defeated Bray Wyatt at Super Showdown in such a decisive manner, and it was clear it was done simply for WrestleMania. He wasn't around on a regular basis and then popped up again as champion to defend against Roman Reigns. The only problem was, after building their match, it never happened due to COVID-19. Instead, he defended at WrestleMania 36 against Braun Strowman in a match with no build at all, which ended his very lackluster run.
Boring.
Number 11, Brock Lesnar, third reign. The third reign of Brock Lesnar is something that really didn't need to happen in hindsight. Him and Seth Rollins traded the title back and forth over a short period, and that's something that didn't really help either of them. It made the title seem more like a prop than as an important championship. While him cashing in the Money in the Bank was a fun idea, it didn't lead to anything exciting or meaningful, with his quick 27-day run as champion not being a memorable one. Number 10, Goldberg, first reign. When Goldberg originally came back to WWE, it was a refreshing and exciting idea, and fans were genuinely happy about it. Goldberg put together some great performances, and his star power was a big boost to the roster at the time. While his feud with Brock Lesnar was a lot of fun, it didn't really need the Universal Championship involved. WWE would have been smarter keeping the title out of this situation rather than giving Goldberg a very short and forgettable run. Number 9, Seth Rollins, first reign. When Seth Rollins initially defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35 to win the title, it was a huge deal. He was incredibly over as a champion and a babyface, and it seemed like it was going to be a very exciting decision for WWE. However, he was then thrown into a lengthy storyline with Baron Corbin, which sadly sucked all the life out of this title reign. The storyline went on far too long, adding Becky Lynch into the situation, with the couple aspect of the storyline being a bigger deal than the actual Universal Championship, which wasn't ideal. Number 8, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman picked up his first world title in WWE at a very difficult time. This was at the heights of the pandemic, with no fans in attendance, and because of that, he was never really able to feed off of the crowd, which is what Strowman does best. While Strowman certainly put the title at the height of everything he did, his championship storylines just weren't interesting. Facing both The Miz and John Morrison was something that didn't quite click, and his cinematic work with Bray Wyatt wasn't that interesting either, with this being an example of something that didn't work, which led to his title run being fairly weak. Number 7, Seth Rollins, second reign. The problem with Seth Rollins' second reign with the title is that the build felt like a repeat. Once again, he had to overcome Brock Lesnar, which he'd already done, therefore it simply wasn't as exciting or enjoyable the second time around. The fans then began to sour on him as a babyface, which also didn't help. His storyline with The Fiend wasn't a good one, with their matches being totally overbooked, although it was a big step up from his first run with the title. Number 6. Roman Reigns' first reign. We never quite got to see the full potential of Roman Reigns' first run as Universal Champion, as he vacated the title due to the unfortunate situation regarding his leukemia diagnosis. However, prior to that, Roman was proving himself to be a great champion. His work in the ring is always fantastic, and he really felt like he was ready at this stage in his career to have a lengthy run as world champion. Number 5. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was a brilliant Universal Champion, and his reign was cut far shorter than it deserved so Goldberg and Brock Lesnar could fight over it at WrestleMania 33. However, in reality, he deserved to have the title into WrestleMania to work against Chris Jericho, as their feud was more interesting.
Show everyone, so you don't mind if I use the Geratron 5000 to demonstrate, do you?
It's the Geratron 6500.
KO and Jericho were hilarious during this point in time, with the double act being both comedic while also making fans hate them at the same time. They were great together, and it made the Universal title a lot of fun. Number 4. Brock Lesnar, second reign. Brock Lesnar's second run with the Universal Championship took place after Roman Reigns had to vacate it. He quickly got back to the top and instantly took the title to the next level, with Brock being the perfect Universal Champion. He works incredibly well within this world, and that is something that makes the title feel important. Brock wasn't quite as dominant as his first run with the title here, but he still put together an impressive 156-day run.
Jesus Christ.
Number 3. The Fiend, first reign. When The Fiend first won the Universal Championship, he was at the top of his game and was comfortably the most exciting talent in the company. He was a brand new character on the main roster at the time, and he was booked very well. While the character was tough to book in matches due to how powerful he was, everything about him had excitement and interest, which is key for any good championship reign. Number 2. Roman Reigns' second reign. We are currently in the midst of Roman Reigns' second reign as Universal Champion, and it's proving to be something special. His return after a break due to COVID-19 came out of nowhere and brought a much fresher idea to his character. Roman joined up with Paul Heyman in a shocking partnership, and from there, he hasn't looked back. Reigns has delivered some amazing promos, and his storylines with the likes of Jey Uso and Kevin Owens have been expertly done. He's brought a totally different level of character work to WWE, and it's making his title reign a lot of fun to watch. Number 1. Brock Lesnar, first reign. Sure, Brock Lesnar wasn't around on a weekly basis during his run as champion, but that actually worked to his advantage. The Beast still made plenty of appearances during his first run as champion, and he was so dominant that his star power elevated with every single title match. Lesnar held on to the title for an incredible 503 days, and throughout that time he certainly did have a great run. It was hard to think who would actually beat Brock, and that made the title itself even more important. He made the title, and the title made him, and the combination just worked brilliantly. And there you have it, guys. Hope you liked our ranking. Comment down below your rankings. And as always, thanks for watching.
Off the ropes, always untamed, on guard when I step in the ring. WWE, all eyes on me. King of the ring, who you came to see? It's a big show, so let your friends know. Only the strong survive. Face to face, look your opponent up in the eyes. Crowd cheering, fan favorite, I'm the main event. Had them all waiting, my finish move, they anticipating. Laid out like you